What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here, guys. In today's video, we're going to do the Will It Run on the 1984 Suzuki LT50. Let's get into it. This video is going to be a little bit difficult for me to film. I got Jesse's 426 sitting right here, and yeah, she's looking pretty freaking sick. Waiting on another part to come in. I don't know why, but this 400EX has given me the fight of the century to put together. Figures, that's just how it would go, you know? No more customer builds. None. Jesse, you're the first and last. Anyway, a lot of you guys requested the Will It Run on this little LT50, man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this thing off camera first, and then we'll take a look at and see what we got. I literally did nothing to this bike other than buy it and pick it up and put it in the truck. That's it. That's it. I've done nothing else. It rolls very smooth. Everything seems to be there. I know these have a tether cord on the back, so we got to definitely make sure that's in there. Otherwise, we'll be chasing our tail, wondering why it doesn't have spark. If it does, anyway. Yeah, grips are deteriorating and falling apart. I already got new OEM ones. Not going to put them on yet, though, because obviously I'll have to powder coat the bars if we do a build on this. Got somebody pushing their, what looks to be like a Harbor Freight mini bike or Walmart mini bike. Okay, that's usually what happens when you buy cheap shit. Anyway, all right, speaking of cheap shit, let's get back to this. I paid 300 bucks for this bike, guys, the way it sits. I'm going to try and not get you a shot of Jesse's bike because I don't want nobody to see it yet. And it's not done, obviously. So yeah, I got this for 300 bucks. As you see it, I bought this with the Big Red from the same person at the same time. He actually has another bike that I'm going to go look at and possibly pick up this week, an 85 250 SX. The mullet of the three-wheeler world, as people say. But anyway, let me go ahead and clean this thing. I didn't even look in the metal tank yet. Might be screwed right off the bat. Let's take a look at that real quick, actually. Because if this thing's rusty, definitely going to have to go buy the other one that's around the corner as a parts bike. Oh, wow. It's actually, I don't know if you guys can get some light in there. I'll have to get a flashlight and show you, but it's actually, there you go. It's actually clean. Holy shit. Why can't I get that lucky with 350X gas tanks, man? Figures. Anyway, all right, let me wash this thing and then we'll pick back up, guys. Washed up a little bit. Cleaned up pretty good. It just got all the cobwebs and everything off of it. Some of you guys might be wondering, Matt, why are you even doing this? I mean, it's not like I'm planning on being in a circus and being that bear that rides on a little tricycle or anything, but you know, man, sometimes when you like doing stuff, you just look at something and you're like, damn, that'd be a cheap, fun little project, and that's exactly what this is. I mean, I got it cheap enough to where it's like, you know, it just is what it is. So I think it will run, not sure yet, but it's getting a little dark out, and I am now getting eaten up by mosquitoes, and I don't have much room in the garage to work with. Granted, that thing doesn't take up much space. I don't do mosquitoes. Not a fan. Just not a fan. So I'm gonna close the garage door. I'm gonna clean up a little bit in here, and we'll pick this Will It Run up tomorrow. All right, man, it is not the next day. It is a few days later. Been trying to crank out Jesse's 400EX build for him. Wasn't even going to have time to finish this video, although I was trying to, but we ran into a problem. I needed to order a part for his bike. I need to get an aftermarket airbox for it. I can't use an OEM airbox because we went with a Lone Star subframe on this quad. I bought 3 other OEM subframes, and they were all tweaked a little bit, so none of them were good enough for this bike. So it's going to be a sick bike. Can't really show it to you guys yet. You guys will see it, though, when it's done. Didn't have time to film the build, but, you know, we'll do a video of a breakdown of all the parts and everything. You know, something like that. So anyway, like I said, it's a few days later, not the next day. So I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod. I guess we should see if the thing even turns over. The front sprocket is missing from what I can see. I didn't pull on the cord yet. Like I said, previous owner told me it did run, and then it sat for, I don't know, a few years, he said. I guess his daughter was riding it. So I guess we could do this on here. I'm just going to pull on it lightly. Yeah, it turns over. Feels like it still has compression. I mean, you guys got to consider, these bikes that were for children, they didn't get really beat on. You know, it's not like they were getting jumped or anything like that. There wasn't a lot of weight on them, so the bearings are usually good. They're low compression engines to begin with. I did a little bit of research on this because I know absolutely nothing about these. So they are oil injected, and I don't know if it's had the, no, I believe this is the oil injection line here. I haven't even taken the plastics off of this thing yet. I'm pretty sure we could run premix in it anyway and just block that off. As long as the carburetor is good, I'm pretty sure it should start and be fine. So let me set you guys up on the tripod, and maybe we should just wing it and throw fuel in this thing, you know, see what happens. We'll test for spark first though, so let's get it. All right, so we took the plastics off. The seat and rear fenders stayed together. You could see like this blue nose piece, which from what I understand is usually missing. That's like that's just an LT thing in general usually. Suzuki's always missing the grill, or especially on like the 250 LT250 quad racers, the top cap that goes over the radiator. But you can see what color it should be, so that'll come right back with a little heat. Maybe we'll test that out at the end of this video. I'll just do a little corner real quick and see how we can make it look. You can see what color the fenders should be, so be amazed what a little bit of heat does, man. But you'd also be amazed at how fast you can mess these things up with a little bit of heat. So the rear fenders, they came off. It was just 2 bolts down here, one on each side, and it just lifted and slid off the grab bar. You had 1 bolt on each side here for the front, and the 2 that held in the hood and the front of the fenders. The chain is off because it's missing the front sprocket. I ordered a front sprocket, it's here, but we're just in this video just seeing if this thing runs. So now that we're down to where I can actually film and show you guys what's going on and get my hands in there, because you know, with the front fenders on, you can't get to anything. So it's a good thing they come off pretty quickly. So all right, put you guys on a tripod. Let's see if this thing has spark. And another good reason, which is always a good tip, guys, when you buy something that's been sitting around for a little while, you always want to check the air box where the air filter is, because I shouldn't even pulled on it before to see if it had compression, because these things are usually packed with like mice, or you know, like mouse house, or something's gotten in there, and you know, that's where they make their home. Then you go sucking that stuff into the engine, and you know where that leads to. So anyway, it looks like the frame has been, where did I see it? It looks like the frame was welded on at some point. Yep, right here. Not a big deal, but I guess me saying there wasn't too much weight on these things and the bearings are usually good is right out the window with that. Looks like you can upgrade the grab bar if you want to, or the front bumper. Grab bar's one piece, 400EX style. Could probably fit this frame into my powder coating setup now, so should be a decent little cheap project to do. Anyway, all right, let me get you guys on the tripod and let's see if this thing has spark. All right, so pulling the boot off. Spark plug's already loose, but if it wasn't, it would be a 13/16 spark plug socket, or you know, wrench, whatever. You don't really need the only difference between a spark plug socket and a regular socket is it has that rubber piece in there, like a rubber O-ring. What that does is hugs onto the spark plug, like if you were working on, like let me think here, like a Hemi, like a old Dodge 426 Hemi. You know, the spark plugs are down the spark plug tubes, which also hold down the valve covers on a Hemi, but that would, you know, hold on to the spark plug so you could pull it out or put it in. So spark plug in here is an NGK BP4HS. Had to pause for a second because Emily was starting a truck and it's a little bit loud. Anyway, spark plug looks a little toasty, but we'll see what we get here. So we're going to put this back in the boot, and then we're going to prop this right here so we get ground. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this in the daylight, but let's see here. Oh yeah, we have spark. Let me see if I can get you guys a little closer in on that. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but it's going to be a little wiggly for a second. Anyway, we have spark. So let's go ahead and just dump some fuel in this thing and see if it fires off. As a matter of fact, before we start it, let me pull the tether cord out the back and make sure that we don't have spark with that pull. This way we have a way to turn it off. All right, so let me make sure I got a way to shut this thing off, and then we'll put fuel in it and just wing it. I'm gonna blow the tank out just a little bit. All right, makes me feel a little bit better about this dumping fuel in here. So I have some 93 with HP2 in here. It's mixed at like 36 or 37 to 1. I usually go 36 to 1 and then add another quarter of a gallon on top of a 4-gallon tank just to lean it out just a little hair, because, you know, I like to be a little bit different, you know. You can't just do what everybody does. Anyway, so yes, this is pre-mix. I'm not even going to bother plugging off that oil injection line. It really shouldn't matter. I don't see the oil tank on this thing anyway. And before we do that, we're going to listen to this dog bark while I'm filming, which is going to be excellent on camera. So anyway, alright. We know we got spark. We now have fuel. I didn't put a whole ton of fuel into it, so we're going to tip it to this side of the bike because the petcock is on the left side of this gas tank here. What's crazy is, man, little Suzuki thing is still on the pad here. Alright, we got that in. Throttle still works. It's amazing what stuff still like lasts the test of time, man. It's crazy. You know, if this was a valuable bike, I guarantee you would need every one of these pieces at a ridiculous amount of money. So let's just wing it. Maybe a little choke. And we can't pull start this bike because there's no chain on it, or push start actually. We'll go ahead and shoot a little starting fluid in here. Maybe give ourselves a little, just a little help. Petcock is on. Ah, she's popping off. Well, it did just pop off. Let's see here. Choke. So we did just hear it pop off for the first time in a long time, probably years. But I would like to go a little bit further and actually hear this thing maybe idle, maybe, just maybe. So we're gonna go with this route again. There is a thing on the petcock over here that says pre or PRI, or maybe short for prime. It's got one to the front and one to the back. Like I said, I don't know these bikes, so if you guys know one of these, or you had one when you were a kid, drop a comment, man. I do read and answer pretty much all of my comments still. So had a weird negative comment the other day. I just block people like that from the channel, so you know, go ahead and help them move on with their life. But anyway, all right, let's see here. Where we at? Yeah, buddy. Is it gonna idle? It's gonna idle. Holy shit, it's gonna idle. Look at that, man. Alright guys, well, you know, you wanted to see the will it run. What's the answer? The answer is yes, it will. And it's idling. Should title it, Will It Idle? Abandoned LT50, will it run? Blah, blah, blah. Cheapest in the world. Whatever other shit they say to lie to you to get you to click on the friggin' video. I try to keep it genuine here, guys. Sometimes it's hard to, but, you know, and videos don't always work out when you're trying to keep it genuine, but there you go, man. Yeah, buddy. Didn't even check if there's oil in this thing, but whatever. You should definitely check if there's oil first, but I ain't really worried about it. Oh, little thing's idling, man. What do you know? Well, maybe before I strip this thing, guys, when the new sprocket comes in, we'll take this thing for a little ride. I think it's... Actually, I think I already have the sprocket. I think I do. But anyway, the chain is like... I mean, you could hold it and it'll hold shape, like, horizontally out of your hand. So, probably not good. I could probably soak it, but we don't have time for that right now. There we go, man. It just died on its own. I didn't shut it off, but, you know. Anyway, guys, a little short video, a little uneventful, but yo, man. Guys, like I said, I paid 300 bucks for this bike. I didn't even plan on buying it. I went to pick up the Big Red, and I asked the question that I always ask somebody when I'm buying something from them, which I should learn to stop asking, but that question is, do you have anything else for sale? Usually it's no, but sometimes it's, yes, I have a little Suzuki 50. And I just say, yeah, I'll take it. So, like I said, I got this for 300 bucks, man. It's going to be a cool little project. Christmas is coming up, so if, you know, I don't put Cheyenne on this, because she is only 3 years old, you know, got her power wheels, and she rides that really good, but, you know, she also tries to run me and Emily over any chance she gets, full speed, and that little power wheels rips, man. I think those like 9 miles an hour or something, so, you know, she'll just come barreling at you head first with a big smile on her face. I'm gonna get you. So don't know if I want to put her on something gas powered that probably goes twice as fast yet, but anyway, like I was saying, Christmas is coming up, so, you know, fixed up. I mean, if I go powder coating the frame and everything and all that stuff, I'll probably just hang it on the wall or something, you know, because it's going to be cheap, but, you know, cleaned up, running, plastic's nice and polished, new seat cover on it and stuff, you could probably get, I don't know, 1,000, 1,300 bucks maybe. You know, somewhere around there. I don't know what the market is on these, man. You know, 300 bucks for this is like, damn, I can't even go to the grocery store for that. So, you know, and then that's worth nothing after you buy it. This is at least, I'll always get my $300 back out of it. And even the few parts that I did buy so far, which are new grips, a new tether cord key with the rope, in case I put Cheyenne on it, the front sprocket, and I ordered something else too. I forget what it was, but couldn't find any other plastics. None of those are broken. Oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? Let's see if we can get some of that blue back on there with a little heat, like I said I would. All right, man. So like I said, guys, if you do not have a good feel for doing this, don't even attempt it. Don't even attempt it. I use MAP gas on a torch with like a real precise flame to it, but I know some of you will be like, oh, you could use a heat gun. Yeah, you can use a heat gun for sure. But what I have come to find out doing things like this is, with a heat gun, it takes longer to get the plastic up to the temperature. Like, I'm assuming when it heats up, the oils in the plastic come back to the surface, is what makes sense in my mind. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I'm not a friggin' scientist. I'm just a jerk off in his garage with tools and bikes. The reason I use a torch is because it heats up extremely fast. So with a heat gun, you're heat soaking a large area. So there's really no consistency to it, and you could really mess it up real quick. Normally I would clean this real good first, but we're just going to see, like I said. So here's the blue we're aiming for. So with a torch, if I can get you guys a little light here, see how fast it does it. And you might have to do 2 passes, you know, but the goal is to not cook the shit, you know what I mean? And you stay back a little bit, and then it gives you a real good base to do your sanding and polishing from there. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because I'm kind of unorthodox right now with the camera between my arms doing this. Probably not a good idea. And I'm sure these pieces are probably not that easy to find, but yep, that was my thumb. We're not trying to restore my thumb. Anyway, I mean, you guys can see You guys can see where we're going here. Yeah, you can see blotchiness, but that's why when you finish it with sanding and polishing, it comes out way better. So, like I said, I use MAPP gas and a torch. The blue tank that you see like at Home Depot for one of these style guns, blue is propane, yellow is MAPP gas. MAPP gas burns hotter. I haven't tried the blue yet. You know, some of you guys that watch my channel for a while know I'm a plumber. I always have MAPP gas around if I don't have my acetylene torch with me. Acetylene would be way too hot though, so don't try that. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out this video, man. A bunch of you guys wanted to see this. Will it run on the LT50? I don't know why, but here it is, man. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the garage next time. We're going to take the 1986 Honda ATC 250 ES Big Red. That's a mouthful. Trike for a ride. And I rode it the other night. It's got a little problem, so I'll see if I can duplicate that problem on camera, and then we'll see what we can do to correct it. Thanks for watching, man. See you in the next one. Peace!